Welcome, guys, again to this bleak week of AMA with the market not looking too hot. Maybe, as usual, Mooncake start with giving the bad news.
Yeah, it's not great, guys, I'm afraid. But hopefully you can all see my screen here. Um, I'll keep it pretty brief. But yeah, don't forget Enigma to click so that when it's recorded properly.
Yeah. I changed the screen size right now, so you can see the whole screen.
Awesome. Yeah, so we can see that we've come through. We need to change this to a dotted line now. Dash line, sorry. Yeah, so we've smashed through these, haven't we? These which I put in weeks ago. I'll zoom in for you so you can see it a bit better. And this circle is kind of where we're looking at coming down to, I think, somewhere within this region, because our next area of support is just under $29,000 dollars for Bitcoin, because we've come through this historic support level here, where you can see we touched all the way back over in 2021, around a year ago, um, and also at several points like here in January and here in February, and that was at about 34, as I said in our price discussion channel, and I've also put up a few things on Twitter over the last few weeks, that if we came down through here, then we were heading back down, further down to around 29 or the high 28,000 sort of level. So that's our next point of support, and that's quite a critical area, because if we drop below that, then things are going to be looking pretty ugly, to be honest. We can see that we've busted down bearish on our MFI as well here. What is nice to see though is that our stock RSI is really, really low. So if we just zoom out here, we can see that it's, on our daily, it's only been this low a couple of times in the last few months, and after that, we have seen a little bit of a pump. So whether we just get a dead cat bounce somewhere between here, or perhaps when we hit 28,000, it really is dictated by what's happening in the market, and we can see that by looking at the S&P. Enigma mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
If we just look at the price action that we've had on the S&P 500, so the stocks, like the top 500 stocks, we can see that over the last 3 days, we've actually come down around 6%, which is big for the stock market.
Yeah, that's huge.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, not much for us in crypto, is it? But for the stock market, bad.
I mean, is the
So
stock
yeah,
market as a whole, and 6% on the S&P is the is the index that uh, tracks the 500 top companies, right? So if means that
yeah,
in overall all these companies went down at least 6%. Spoiler alert,
that's it.
a lot of them went down way more, but yeah.
Do you know what? Should we have a look? Actually, let's see. Give me a company and we'll look it
Yeah,
up,
like
guys.
Tesla, for
Let's have a
example.
Tesla USD. So that. Oh damn!
Yeah. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
15%
yeah.
in 6 days?
I mean,
What? No, 4 days.
you can look at Amazon. You can look at all
Wow.
these juicy ones. Um,
Amazon.
I'm not sure
Wow.
how it is, but definitely not
Wow.
looking too good.
Amazon. Let's have a look at a different one. Uh, yeah, the Nasdaq. Oh man.
Yeah. That, that was shitting. Yeah. So
Huh.
not looking too bright.
Amazon down 32% in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
So I mean, just the
Something
top
else I wanted to
companies.
have a look at.
Uh,
Um, Something else I wanted to have a look at was the DXY. which is the dollar currency index, to see the value of the dollar.
Yeah.
Oh boy, look at this. Yeah. When you see that coming up, it's not good for other things normally. We could just have a look quickly at the Bitcoin dominance. That'll be interesting. This one. That's interesting. So we're still in this wedge that I drew. Do you remember that I drew this ages ago?
Mm,
But we're approaching the point now where we're going to bust out of this either up or down. So if the Bitcoin dominance goes up, that's good. You know, in the long run, that's good for crypto. But if it absolutely dumps and altcoins dump as well, then that's just, you know, and we see the USDT dominance going up, then people are just terrified and they're just selling everything.
yeah.
So this basically, just to go over it again, the market cap for Bitcoin dominance, this is just the market dominance of holders of Bitcoin. So how much Bitcoin is dominating over altcoins, basically. So if you see that going up, you know, the money's going and flowing more into Bitcoin. And if you see it coming down, but you're seeing altcoins sort of pumping, then money is flowing out of Bitcoin into altcoins, which is what you would call an altcoin season. But then if you also look at the market cap for USDT, or you know, which is one of the most popular stable coins
Which is not a good idea to have
here.
USDT, but yeah.
No. No, you see that's shot up. So that's telling that people are getting into stables, getting some dry powder set aside, um, and waiting things out. So guesses on what the fear and greed index is at, guys. It's about 20.
People
I
are,
haven't looked yet, so I don't know.
people are
What
I
do you
think it's
reckon?
extreme fear, I would say, but let's see.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick look.
I'm gonna go with 20. What are you going with? Higher than 20 or lower?
Lower, I think.
You reckon lower?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's have a look.
I think people are shitting themselves. Let's see.
You might be right. Oh my days, 11.
Told you. Yeah, not looking too good.
Oh, that's really bad. That's really bad. 11.
Yep, it is what it is.
Yikes.
Anyway, have you finished giving us bad news, Mooncake?
Do you want me to see if I can give you any good news?
Yeah, if there's something, but I mean, to be honest, I mean, it's what we were talking earlier. I think it's just like the market's just shitting themselves for the Fed, so there's not really much we can do right now, I think.
I mean, all I can say is, if in doubt, just zoom out, you know, or even the monthly chart. And looking at the weekly, you know, if we do come down to around 28K, like we touched on, you know, way back here in July 2021, then, you know, if when you look how low the RSI is, we can't come down. We could come down a bit further than that, but it would be a great point to start, you know, getting back into things. And I know I've said that a few times, but I have always said that it is dependent on if we close above or below these key areas, and we've closed below them and smashed through them. So that's what tells you whether you need to deploy or not. If you can see a strong bounce and a retest of zones that we've talked about in the past, then you can confirm a change in trend and direction. But so far, all we've done is down. So, you know, over the long run, if you have very carefully deployed capital at these key areas, you'll still be doing well in the long run because we know that it's going to recover. We
Yep.
know that in the long run that it is going to recover, but um, you can never time the bottom or the top. You can't. It's impossible. Um, so the best thing you can do is just either wait it out in trend and just keep your money in stables, or put your money into aren't really affected because we're such a small volume project at this point.
No.
Yeah, either that or just, hold your money in stables and wait for that trend change and then start deploying slowly.
Yeah, I mean, for us,
That's pretty much it.
almost all our treasury is in stables right now. So just so okay.
So that's
So
good. Yeah.
thank you very much, Mooncake, for the market update. So continuing with the Metis, as you guys know, Metis has its partnership program and requires different things to become partner with them. The last thing that we are waiting on is in the audit report. Now we are having a bit of a issue in the audit report. I mean, in theory, the audit report should give two things. One is that there is no vulnerability in the code. So, like for example, a user cannot just print money, cannot print GameFi out of thin air by some exploit, which we are covered there. There is nothing. And the other one is, I think sometimes they check if there is some type of function that can work as a, let's say, for the developers to exploit the users. Like for example, the honeypot functions that allow to block sell and only allow buy, these kind of things. So we have a function. We have two functions. One of them is a blacklist function that you can blacklist a certain wallet, and that wallet cannot interact with the contract. And the other function is that a function that limit the amount of sale that you can do in one transaction. So, for instance, you cannot transact more than 10,000 GameFi in one transaction. For example, right? We can change that at will. We can put zero. We can put infinite. At the moment, there is no limit. The auditor didn't like that much because, I mean, in theory, that could be used. For example, let's say that GameFi will be on a pre-sale, then bad actors could stop the transaction limit and nobody will be able to sell, for instance. I mean, obviously, for now, for us, that doesn't matter because, again, like we already have the liquidity added. There's no pre-sale, and I mean, there's not really much that we could do with that function, right? So I mean, we need to speak with Metis and we need to understand if that's a deal breaker for them or not. Because if it's a deal breaker, then we need to remove that transaction, and it means that we need to redeploy again, which is, I mean, at the point, it's not too much of a big deal if we need to redeploy. There's just some people that are staking, and we can just say, please unstake, and we redeploy. I mean, we could literally redeploy in 1 hour, but obviously, it's a pain in the ass to redeploy. So ideally, we don't need to do that. This week we'll have a call with Metis and let's see what they do. We added a function because we want to make sure that if there is another fuck up like before, that there was this hack of my wallet and stuff, or there is some type of hack that it doesn't need to be in us. Like let's say the Hermes get hacked and they can take out um, the GameFi or something along those lines. We could stop all the transactions on the whole token, right? So that way everything is frozen and there's no way for the user, for the bad actor to sell the hack token. So I mean, it's just a worst case scenario, but something to have control over the whole ecosystem, which is kind of important. So anyway, this week we will have a call with Metis and let's see what they say. Ideally, I would like to keep those transactions in, but if we cannot, then whatever. Um, then a lot of people have been asking for CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. Um, Again, we are waiting for Hermes to get approved in CoinGecko as a new liquidity provider is not a exact clone of SpookySwap, which, for example, Tetis is. So they need to get approved, and it's taking time. You know how the things are. Like they say that their engineers are working on it in the CoinGecko part. So I don't know. I will ask them today again. I spoke with them on Friday, and they said that it's already 2 weeks that they've been waiting. So I think it should be pretty soon. Um, then on a bit more bright news, we are currently designing the launchpad, which is something that, as you guys know, we haven't really talked much about, but we'll have more info in either this week or next week, and that's something that we want to have out before the partnership with Mythis. The launchpad will also include a form where other projects can come to us. But so I think it's important before having the partnership with Metis.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to show that
Yep.
community, to be able to see that when they consider voting for us to be part of their official community. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. So the other one is we have a article planned for the for our ecosystem that will be dropped soon. I think Paradox and Mooncake are finalizing it. That
Yeah.
will, yeah,
It
that.
should
Mhm. Go on.
it should be out this week, I imagine. I think it's almost ready to go. We'll have some more information about the services that we're planning and our ecosystem, going into a bit more depth about it.
Yeah. Then coming back into the games, we have. Well, I will start with Project Lazarus. Currently, we found a UX/UI company. We are starting the UX/UI sprint this week. It means that in the next month we'll be able to have actual visual representation of how the game will look like. The game document is, I would say, finished now, so we actually know how the whole game is gonna work. So maybe that's something that um, we can expand later on. Um, and then finally, Battle of Olympus. So Battle of Olympus is, as you guys know, is something that we have been working on for a while. Um, and we decided to bring it into the forefront and actually make something very big out of it. We are working very closely with Mind Vision, which, as you guys saw last week, joined our team. Uh, he mainly deals with the tokenomics. He helped us with the tokenomics of V2. So the same thing will be for Battle of Olympus. We are actually going to have a whole gameplay which will include idle game mixed with active gameplay. It's going to have its own token. It's going to have loads of stuff. And we are going to start the Twitter this week, and there we'll grow the community, and then we'll give more news about it, and then we will open the Discord and all that good stuff. Obviously, because the market is so bad, we need to take it slow, but I think even if the market is so bad, it's good to start creating a community for the medium to long run.
Yeah, and it's looking really nice, guys. I can say that I've seen what they're working on so far. It's looking really good. The whole UI is getting an overhaul, to bring it in line a bit more with our brand image,
Yep.
which is really nice to see. Enigma's working really hard in his magic with his graphical prowess,
Been doing good.
getting the thing looking really nice,
Yeah,
looking
I
really good.
have to say it's looking pretty good. So then I think that's it for this week. Let's see if any questions. Rumble asks, do you know what requirements are necessary for Revenant to access a broker like PancakeSwap DeFi or Cushion that is centralized? Yeah, PancakeSwap is not centralized. PancakeSwap is another DEX. For yeah, all right, KuCoin, yeah. So KuCoin, well, it's just about paying. I mean, if you pay them like I think 20 to 30K, you can get into it. Um, ish, something along those lines. I think you have other
Certain
requirements
centralized platforms, they look for certain things as well, don't they?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
um, like
volume, I think.
transaction volume and yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, at the moment, we are not at the level that A, we have money to spend on that, and B, the transaction volume. So yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to do that right now. But I mean, it ranges between 20, 30K, the cheapest one, to like 200, 300K, the most expensive one, to get into the platform. So yeah, it's definitely not something that we want to go for as is right now. But I mean, for sure, it's something that we'll look at later on down the line.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can see in the roadmap that we want to expand our listings, but at the moment we just got to
Yeah,
build out what we're planning and build up more of a community, really.
yeah,
Get
yeah.
more of
So
hype going about
eh,
the project
it's
because then
yeah,
once I'm
especially
aware of it.
yeah, sorry, especially growing community, the community of Battle of Olympus, and growing the community of Project Lazarus later on this year, because I mean, Battle of Olympus is definitely gonna be another of our flagship games, and it's super important because I mean, Revenant is so good, but if we don't have like games, then there's not much point of it. So I think at the moment our focus is after we well, while we partner up with Metis, our focus is Launchpad and Battle of Olympus at the same
Yeah.
time. So, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, for I'm checking here the Revenant roadmap, and the I don't know, I spun Dex and Sex listings. We have them, but by for the end of the year, yeah, I think is still is still realistic.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that's it. Do you guys have any other questions for this week? We are also thinking. Yeah, I agree. Rumbolas is saying that it's better to focus all the efforts on Battle of Olympus. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what we will be doing.
Yeah.
Project Lazarus is its own team, and Project Lazarus comes later on. Battle of Olympus is, I mean, we have the game basically, let's say, playable right now. So for sure we can focus on that one.
Yeah.
Um,
Building out like a separate roadmap for that in itself because I haven't checked in with Mind Vision about what you guys have been planning, but with team so that we've got a certain amount of people working on that, a certain amount working on the launch pad
oh,
separately as well, so we can get other projects in, and
oh,
that's really exciting too. But with Battle of Olympus, there's like a whole load of stuff that we're doing, so that it's got a real kind of future, and
yeah, yeah,
it's really exciting. But obviously, it's a whole sort of micro economy that we have to get right because if you don't have enough, certain mechanics in place, it just becomes like an inflationary with play to earn. So we just want to make sure that that is done right because there's so many games out there, so many play to earn games that are inflationary, and the token just goes to zero
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because there's not enough, sinks in the game. There's not enough things for people to spend their token on and to do, and not enough incentives. So we want to make it fun and exciting to play and worthwhile as well to people playing it.
Yeah, yeah, especially Battle of Olympus, it can be a great esports game. So I think
Yeah,
that part is something that we also want to focus on. So for sure.
it's so cool seeing people battling and like just getting into it. It's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be great.
exactly. Okay, I think that's it for this week. If you guys don't have any other questions, um, we will see in the following weeks. If there is a week that is not very eventful, maybe we will push it to twice a month the AMAs, but we will see for now. I think for now we can still do weekly. Let's see how the market reacts.
Yeah, if we have enough to talk about, but we'll keep you updated about it as things happen.
Cool. Then Rumbolas is typing. Let's see, but all right, cool. Thank you very much, guys, for this week AMA. See you all next week.